Let's see. Hi,
Hey, how are you?
Mr. Kenneth, Todd Nelson. How are you doing today?
I'm extraordinary, actually.
You
One of my
look
good,
extraordinary.
thank
You're
you so much.
glowing.
I appreciate that. It is like the sun is out here, so this is a
Ye-
good thing.
Yeah, what were you gonna tell
Yeah.
me?
I don't even know what I was going to say. I'm just happy to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here. I think that it's so important for us to be having this discussion right now because I think during this time, a lot of people are thinking about areas in their life that they can be better in, that areas that they can change. And I think overall, this pause in time is just a time for us to just really push ourselves and come out of quarantine as a 2.0 version of who we are. So
Wow. You know
before
what?
we,
You know what I just thought about just now?
what, what?
I actually thought about, you know how a caterpillar
Yes.
turns into a butterfly. So
Yes.
this is like that time when we have the opportunity to create a lot for ourselves.
Yes, for us to bloom in this next season. But before we get into all of that, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Have you been coping in this time? I need to know.
It's interesting. My sleep pattern. Is there echo?
Oh, you hear it's feedback? Sorry, I'll hold it.
It's feedback.
That's
That's
what
that Janet Jackson song. Feedback.
it's better now?
It is.
Okay,
It
okay.
is.
Tell me.
Yeah, so I'm doing pretty good. It's been interesting. Just having to be in a space. I've created like a makeshift studio in my room. So
Yeah.
I have lights, I have a printer, I have a lot of different things. So it's been unique.
Running your business from home and everything.
Yeah. And I was already home based, but I was outsourcing like certain things that I didn't have to do before, and now I'm having to do that. So it's been definitely an adjustment for me.
Yeah, you're pushing yourself.
Yeah, I
I'm
am.
doing that too. I'm learning skills that I didn't have before, such as making flyers for creative exchange. Like I'm not that, super graphic person, but I've been pushing myself. So,
I'm
but
glad.
thank you for coming on. If you just
No
want to like
problem.
tell everybody, well, I'll tell everybody who you are to me, and then we can just kind of open the floor. So I met Kenneth probably about, I don't know, three,
We
4 years ago.
No, it's been like four. We met, but we didn't meet.
Yeah, we had we
Yeah.
we were under the same spiritual mentorship, and in New York, and then I moved to LA, and he was already here, and we connected further while he was here, and then he kind of just took me under the wing and is like my brother, is my brother, and he kind of started educating me on everything he's been doing, everything about credit, and he has his own credit building business,
Yep.
consulting, business, and literally since he's helped me, I've just been referring everyone that I
Yeah.
know
Your
to
whole
him
family,
because
everybody. Yeah.
right, my whole family uses him and he's really been changing like lives, one credit score at a time.
It's so crazy, but I want to say thank you for this platform and thank you for being completely honest and transparent.
Yeah.
Because when you're honest and when you can kind of tell people what you're going through, and like, because credit is such a people don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, and I don't get that.
Yeah,
Why do you think that is? What is the stigma around credit that we don't even want to look at it, we'll deal with it later, like we're just so, I don't
that's a
know.
great question. A lot of people don't want to talk about credit because number one, the way they were raised. Sometimes their credit score is even bad. They don't want to talk about it. It's like I deal with a lot of clients who don't even want to look at it. Oh, I deal with it later. I deal with it later.
That
And I'm
was
like,
me.
no,
That was me.
that
Yeah.
was you.
Yeah,
Oh,
at one
wow.
point in time, it was me. And
So
it is because I just was never taught about it. I mean, my mom always was emphasized paying bills on time, talking about credit, credit, credit. And I was like, yeah, mom, all right, I'll get to it later. But ever since we met and you really started emphasizing, what it could do, how it can change my business, my life,
right.
things like that, then it started, getting more and more into my mind. I think I was more mature to receive that information, which is why it stuck further. But so
It goes to just changing that mindset. Really, it's like you have to learn how to decode or unlearn that learned behavior when it comes to the way you've been conditioned to think. Whether it's it can be anything that you
yeah.
were raised to think. And so I think a lot of times we bring that in our adult life, and that comes sometimes to our finances as well.
So what is your main responsibility as a credit consultant?
So I'm one of the owners with my brother Marcus Nelson, and we have some sales reps that help support the whole company. Um, one of our what we do is we actually help people. We analyze their credit. We do audits, so
Okay.
we look and see what they have, what type of derogatory items they have on their reports. A lot of those things can be challenged. A lot of people don't know that. There are so many loopholes within the law that
Yeah.
will help your credit score, but you have to know how to utilize the law in order to be able to impact your credit score.
Okay. So how do you go about, because I see you make it fun and creative too, because you're a creative, and it's
Yeah.
just like, what ways can you go about making it more appealing for people to want to engage in their
Well,
credit more?
stuff like this. I think it's important for us to like just have conversations like this to make it. Because I'll meet a random person and I'll just be like, hey, what's your credit score? See if they'll tell
Right.
me. They look like, and I
Because
kind of
that's
want to
really
make it.
personal information. Like
It's
people don't
very
just be like,
it
oh,
is
it's, you
it
know,
is, but at the same time, I
or a lot
think
of time
that
people are embarrassed.
they're embarrassed, and so what I want to do, what I've been trying to do, is take the shame away from that. And I think if we become more transparent, we can help more people. I think that if you apply the knowledge that you have, there's so much that you can do with it.
That's true. So can you walk us through the steps of like
Yeah, absolutely. So
building
basically,
credit?
absolutely. First of all, Credit Karma is a tool that a lot of people have, but
Okay.
Credit Karma actually only shows you two different credit bureaus. That's TransUnion.
And it's
I'm hearing feedback just a little bit.
okay. Is it better now?
It's much better. So
Okay.
I'm TransUnion and Equifax.
And
So those, and
okay.
there's one additional one. There's Experian.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that. So Credit Karma is a great tool to have, but you need to know what's on all three of your credit reports. I have a link that you can pull all three for $1. It doesn't hurt to pull your report because you're pulling it. A lot of people think, well, is this gonna hurt my score? I'm like, no, it will not. And I think it's a lot of mismatch. Well, I shouldn't say mismatch. It's there's a lot of people don't know a lot of information, and so they just kind of assume certain things that other people have told them. They kind of utilize that information as incorrect.
Yeah. So once we pull our credit score and we see what it is, what's the next step?
So
What do
what
we do next?
normally I do, even before that, I have everyone kind of write down all of their bills, what they're paying.
Okay.
One of the most important things, if you do have credit cards, is to know when your statement date ends. That is actually the date that the credit bureau will report the balance to the credit report. The credit agency will report that balance to the bureau. So it's not necessarily when you pay your bill, because a lot of times when you pay your bill, it's actually after the date that they actually report the balance. So you have to know when your closing
So
date
the
will be.
end, the closing date.
Yep, your statement
Okay.
date in. Yep. So your statement date may be like the 15th, and your bill may not be due until the 20th, and you need to be able to know that. So
So you
what we
have to
do,
pay it before then.
yeah. So what I
Okay.
do is I break down all of those. I have them break down when their bills are, and then from there we start looking at their collections or charge-offs. A lot of
Okay.
people don't know that you have a lot of old addresses on your credit report, and if
Yeah.
you have old addresses, they need to be removed because a lot of times your score can be affected just by that. Let's just say, for instance, you live in a neighborhood where everyone credit scores a certain uh, category, and they use your credit score and based upon that as well. So they give you less points. So sometimes it's good not having those old addresses because they're they're evaluating your credit based upon that. So you need to remove all of those addresses. And
So
then from
we can go on something like Credit Karma and do that, or do we
Yep.
need someone to do it for us?
Well, I mean you can do it. You can do it.
When
I
do you
mean, but
think it's essential for us to get a credit consultant involved? Like, can we get our credit up on? Can we get our credit up on our own, or is it?
there are certain things you can do. You can do, but I would always encourage you to talk to a professional first, especially if you want it done the first time the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, but some people don't necessarily have the money to do it, and so it comes down to whatever personal situation that you're in because everyone can't afford it. So that's why I always try to give little nuggets.
Is there
And
like a price range though? Like, or is there like
well,
just a ballpark? Just a ballpark, just so people can have an idea.
well,
Like,
every situation is completely different.
okay.
So I always like to analyze because I want to see what's actually happening. And so what I can most of the time what I do is we have monthly packages that go from I think we have something like for I think it's like $150 down. I think it's like $99 a month.
Yeah.
And
That
then
seems pretty affordable.
yeah, but let's just say for instance you're trying to get it done much faster. You need it
Yeah.
done well like in a couple months. We do have a fast track option as well. So that's going to cost you a little bit more, but you got to think about how's that going to help your life. And then another thing, let me just say this really quickly. even if you pay off those collections of those charge-offs, they still stay on your credit report. So a lot of times I tell people, yeah, people think, well, they use their money. They're like, I got my taxes. Let me pay off these collections of these charge-offs. I
Yeah.
always tell people don't do that because they can be challenged, and then they're still going to say paid charge-off for collection when you pay for it, and then 9 times out of 10, they're not going to remove it from your report. So there are computer systems that if you have a collection or a charge-off, if you automatically have a charge-off or a collection, it's going to decline you no matter if it's paid or unpaid.
Oh, so then that's where we need a professional to come in
Yeah,
and make
exactly. Don't pay those
reconciliation.
collections. A lot of times, a lot of the collection agencies are not even legally, they can't even receive money from you in the States because they just bought the debt, and you actually verify the information on the phone. Most of the time, they don't even have it. Even with medical bills, it's a HIPAA violation if they have
So is
certain
it kind
things.
of like them taking our money?
Well, okay, break that down.
In terms of like, so let's say I had to go to collections for something, for a bill that I've been putting off
Right,
for years, right? And then
right.
they hit me up and they're just kind of like, hey, we're adding your name or,
Yeah,
this bill to collection because you
yeah.
haven't paid. So,
Well, as a lender, I have the right to sell that debt. I can sell it to anybody.
oh,
So if I sell it to them, but they're not supposed to have certain information legally. So that's why
gosh,
when you have a call, they ask you, can you verify your name? Okay, that's fine. But then they start asking you other information because you give them the information. A lot of
yes,
times, if you get collection calls, what you do is you tell them, you're like, hey, take my number out of the system and send it to the address that you have on file. And if they keep calling you, I have attorneys on my team that can actually, those are violations. So if they keep calling you, that's harassment. We can actually sue them.
that's great to know.
Yeah,
Did y'all hear that? If y'all
yeah.
got these people that keep calling and trying to pay a bill, like that's
hmm
violation, that's harassment.
And
We're not
another
supposed
thing,
to do that.
another thing too, what we find sometimes when we're looking at people's credit reports, we see dates that are incorrect. We see a lot of inconsistencies, and if your score is down because of those inconsistencies, we can also remove those accounts, and also we can actually sue them because there is inaccurate information.
Makes sense. So let's say, okay, what are the best ways to kind of keep our credit score up?
You need multiple accounts in different categories. A lot of people are anti-credit cards, but you need credit cards. You need multiple accounts. You need to
Okay.
be paying installment loans, which is like a car payment. That means you're paying something down. And so also you need revolving. That's like a credit card. And so a lot of people, they go
Can you give
to
us an
like
example of that revolving credit card?
American Express. That's my favorite. People have heard of Capital One, Bank of America. Those are revolving accounts.
And what does that
So
mean? You constantly use it,
yeah, you're
constantly pay?
constantly. Yeah, it's always going to change. It's always going to change. Like it's not a lump sum. It's going to change based upon your utilization per month.
Oh, okay. And then once you use anything on that card, you have to pay it back immediately?
Well, that's a charge card. So a charge card, you have to pay it back within 30 days. But your revolving, you can keep it going. But you want to get credit cards that have 0%. There are actually a lot of cards that have 0% interest right now. And so I would utilize that. You guys have good credit, or if you just kind of need help with your credit, you can definitely reach out to me. But if you already have good credit, utilize some of those 0% and transfer those balances because you can save money. There are a lot of people paying a lot in interest right now. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially like for me personally, like on my student loans, and things are, it's accumulating.
Well, let me ask you this question. Have you called the student loan company to defer your payments? Because because of this hardship right now, you
I
can
have,
defer your, okay. And what about
it's being deferred.
on your
But
car
when,
payment? You can do the same thing.
yep, car payment deferred as well. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
my bills have, options that work.
Yep.
Um, but like when I went to college, my mom had took out a loan on her name, and then I had a loan on my name. So the one on her name is the one that's like, a lot more, which I don't think they're deferring, but the one on my name they are. So
Yep. I mean, that's something. I mean, you have to ask. A lot of times I tell people, reach out to your creditors because before you get that 30-day late payment, they have divisions in their company that can kind of help you when you're having a hardship. So sometimes it's better to reach out to your creditors and let them know what's going on so you don't receive any derogatory items or remarks on your credit report.
okay, and those are the items that hurt us the most, that
And
drops
yeah,
our.
one 30-day payment can drop your score like 90 points. Yeah, it's a lot.
What else can like drop our score? What should we?
Utilization can drop it. So I do have this one account that I tell a lot of my clients to put like this $5,000 unsecured credit card on, and it's basically you have to pay like $140 for it to get that card, but it keeps their utilization down. And it's always good to have unsecured debt, and because secured debt looks like really bad. Well, it doesn't look bad, but they frown upon it just a little bit because it's like, well, I don't know if I can lend them any money yet. So you got to kind of build your way up. And if you have a secured credit card, you may start off like $200-300. That's not a lot of money. I'm being completely honest. And so eventually you build yourself up. If that's what you have to do, it's better than not doing anything.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of different tricks that you can utilize to be able to help your credit. And it's this other account that I love where I put like $40 to $50 in this account every month, and it saves, and also it reports to all three credit bureaus. And so I'm saving money and it's reporting to my credit as well. So there's so many different tricks that we have that if you don't like need credit restoration, there's certain things that you can still have to become credit worthy. And what I mean by credit worthy is meaning having different accounts in different categories, like we talked about earlier, installment, revolving, and having a good payment history.
And someone here says, "What's the card with the 5K limit? Can that be any card? 5,000?
No, whoever that person is, tell them to DM me and I'll send them the link for it because I have a whole list of items.
Okay. Well, just
Yeah,
DM him. His Instagram is pinned right there. I pinned it in the comment.
Yeah, I'll send you a whole list. Not only that, let me drop another little nugget.
Yeah.
If you pay like a light bill or a utility bill, you can reach out to Experian for free. It's called Experian Credit Boost. You can get that added to your credit report if you pay with your debit card.
And that will help because you're paying on it every month.
Yeah, exactly. But I actually got some news that I just found out earlier today or last night.
Share it.
Equifax just decided that if you apply for utility bills or a phone, they will no longer use that as a hard inquiry.
If you apply for utility bills or a phone, they will no longer use that as a hard.
Yeah, because before, have you ever applied for a phone and you see that inquiry from T-Mobile or Verizon? That's a hard inquiry, so your score goes down. Yeah. They're like, no, this doesn't make sense. People need cell phones, and so now they're not gonna give you a hard hit because of that. Also,
that's great.
Exactly, applying for too much debt, too many inquiries, will automatically get you declined.
Just applying for too many credit cards, you mean?
Yeah, too many, and then I would get.
I made that mistake in the past too.
I would get those inquiries removed. I mean, well, we took them off though.
Yeah. It's been a process, y'all. I had made a post saying that he had literally got my score from like the low 500s to almost 800 in no time, and it's definitely possible, but it's a process. Like you did the work. You did the work. Yeah, and I just had to learn through so much and not be apprehensive or you know just flow and just allow myself to just do what I need to do in order to grow. So in terms of like business credit, would you say how do we compare that to personal credit, and how can we start building business credit?
Well, I think that's a great question, but I don't think you should. I think that you can kind of do them simultaneously. I think that business credit is very unique. It's because it's twofold. A lot of times with business credit, they want to use your personal credit to guarantee, that loan or that credit card. So they're going to give you so they'll run your own personal credit to see if they can give you a business credit card. They just want to see how you pay your bills. So I always tell people, why are you trying to establish business credit if you don't have good credit yourself? So like, make sure your credit is intact because that's a representation of what's going on in your life. And I'm a strong believer in everything needs to be kind of good.
On the same.
Seriously. Yeah, because I mean, that vibration is so important. You don't want your personal vibration, your personal credit to be here in your business. You want everything to be up and up.
Right.
And so we help people also establish net 30 accounts.
Can you elaborate on that? What is that?
So net 30 accounts are business accounts that you pay 30 days later. So they actually report to the credit bureau 30 days afterwards, and you need at least maybe 5 to 6 of those accounts to establish business credit with Dun & Bradstreet.
Can you give an example of what a net 30 account is? Like.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Whew, this credit stuff is like wrecking my brain. But if y'all have any questions, post them down so we can get them answered. Because
Let
I
me
know
give you a
some
prime.
people might be confusing.
Let me give you a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
Oh, I get it. So like vendors.
So this, so this is a
That's
vendor.
like paper.
So
Okay.
paper, you need this, right? So
Yeah, for your
instead of
business.
for your business, so instead of going to Staples, you open up a vendor account, and so you pay it later. And so
Like
there's
Uline, someone said good credit builder said you. Oh, yep. Okay.
this is a
Yep.
good company
Just
right
to
here.
get like office supplies.
Yep. All
Okay.
of it, yeah, but you need multiple ones that are reporting on time. And let me give you a little trick with that. When you're doing that, make sure you pay it before the due date, because if you pay before the due date, you get higher points with Dun and Bradstreet. And another
But
thing,
like, what if you're a business? Well, because like me, I'm a fashion stylist amongst other things. But like for you, your paper is more effective for your business, but
I
not
mean,
for mine.
they have everything. They have boxes, they have like pins, they have
Anything, just
anything you can
office
think
stuff.
of.
Okay.
Uline is just one of them. If you want to find out little, other companies, you can DM me and I'll give you that list as
Okay.
well.
Amazing. That's good to know. And so, from what you were saying before, is there no way to start building business credit before personal? Let's
Yeah,
just say you
you can do those type of things. Like that's
just to build it
just
before
to
you
build
get
it.
the personal
And
money
another
later.
thing, let me drop a nugget with you guys. Stop using your personal home addresses for your business. Stop it. Look up a virtual address, because they will Google the address, and there's a red flag that sometimes, because of that address that you're in, that
Yeah.
you won't get approved, and you don't even know you have everything together, but it's because you don't have the right address.
Yeah, and
And
you
you're
also want to protect yourself too. I
That's
just
true.
looked it up the other day. Well, actually, a few months ago, I got a virtual address, and it was like $10.99 a month.
That's it. Use a virtual
Yeah,
address.
and then all your stuff goes to that address, and hopefully, just make it close by where you are, so that you can have easy access to it and pick it up
It's so
whenever.
funny. Somebody
Wow.
just put on here like Uline doesn't have racks, but so
Yes,
basically,
racks, because we're
you know
stylists
what?
and we need
But that
racks.
might, you know what? That might be some opportunity there. Maybe we could. That's a business right there. Maybe we're creating something now.
Yeah. Hold on now.
I'm serious.
Sparking the flame. Look, we're about to
Exactly.
get hella racks on Uline.
And another thing too, you need to be listed with 411. You need to be listed with 411, because
Elaborate.
when they go to your website, they want to make sure that every information is verifiable. So you need to be listed. You need to be having posts. You need an online presence. You need to be posting regularly, because they're going to find out who you are. And if your social media presence is powerful, then you can get a lot of money. I just got a client yesterday. This is on the personal side. I think he got like 26,000, but this is our second time getting money from him. And so,
And the credit, he got 26 in like a credit card.
yeah. And so every situation is completely different, but we have to start from somewhere. And so I can help people with funding too. I take a certain percentage out for my time, but I
Yeah.
can definitely help you out with that.
With funding.
Mm-hmm.
Can you like go into a little bit of
So
detail
let's
on what
just say,
that
for
looks like?
instance, I know where to get you money, and I know that algorithm.
Okay.
So there's an
Okay.
algorithm. There's a time of day. There's your address. There is also your location.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, there's a lot of science around this. A lot of people don't know that. There's so
Yeah.
much science around it.
Someone
Sometimes
said,
sometimes it's better. Let me drop another nugget.
"Come on, you gotta give us all the gems because we don't know,
No, I can't
and
give
we
you
want to be
everything.
better.
No, I can't give you everything. But I will say this. Sometimes you
Give
can
us as much as you can."
okay. Sometimes you can do a 2-for-1.
Okay.
You can use that one inquiry for two accounts for the same company. So let me give you a prime example. Let's go with Chase. You can apply for maybe a Chase Reserve if you have good credit, and then you can get the Sapphire with the same inquiry. So you do one online, and then you call and do the other one.
Oh, on the phone.
Yep, and they'll use that same inquiry for two accounts. American Express does the same thing.
Oh, but then if you're approved, will they give you two cards?
Yeah, you get and yeah, seriously, yeah. So you get a 2-for-1. Yeah.
Yes,
And
guys.
if you're gonna apply, let me say this: apply for everything all at one time before those things hit, so you can be good to go. Because
Yeah,
your score will drop when you start opening new accounts. That's normal, but every month it'll start going back up.
and it won't drop. It won't drop that many points, just a few.
Maybe like 10
Yeah,
points. I've seen it drop 15 points, but that's normal.
yeah.
And that's another thing. Your score is always going to change. I get emails and text messages. people think that their credit score is going to stay the same. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So
It's
it can
gonna go
be
up and down. It's gonna
up and
fluctuate.
down. And then it also depends on what you're looking at. Credit Karma shows you Vantage scores. You can't necessarily use that when you're trying to buy a house. Like we just
Yeah.
got one client, Miss Little, today. She just got approved, I think, $350,000 for a house. But also they use her FICO score. So that's another equation. And that's another thing too. If you guys are trying to buy a house, we can help you in that process too, because I work with a lot of lenders as well.
Yeah, I feel like this conversation can just go forever, and there's so many different layers to credit. Honestly, it is. So that's why there's a link there for you
Yes.
guys. I will save this live. There's also a link. You guys can DM him for questions, and also there's a link there as well. If you click on it and you sign up with Kenneth, you'll get a little discount because I referred you.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I referred you to stay a Bear
Absolutely.
You'll get a
Absolutely.
discount, and he will literally help you take your credit to where it needs to be. For me personally, I got my credit score up within months, like less
And
than
let
a
me let me and
year.
let me just say this too, because I think this is important. And I just want to be completely honest and transparent. When I start coaching people, I don't have any emotions. And what I mean by that is I am sympathetic when it comes to people's experience because life happens. But at the end of the day, I need to get you results because a lot of times people want to tell me their life story, and I respect that. But my goal is to get you results so you can move on. So I'll listen to it, a little bit of it, but we gotta get results.
You got
And
to be
this
more solution
we do
oriented.
it right.
Yeah,
What are we gonna do now, right
yeah,
now? And we speak in the now. And so when you start talking to me, we change that language immediately.
yeah. That's good to know. So you
Yes,
guys have to come approach from a place of, yeah, okay, we all know we
yes.
made mistakes in the past, but how can we be better?
And
How can
yeah,
we?
seriously,
All we can do is start now. You know what I mean? We
start
can't dwell
right.
too much on the mistakes we did make. Now we have to focus. All right, how can
But
we
it's
be
called
better?
life though. I had a
Yeah,
500 or 400 credit score, and back in the day I hired one of those old companies that didn't give me this information. Yeah, I did. I had it. So
yeah.
you know what I'm
We
saying?
all
So
we all been through it, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. We just need to start somewhere so that in the long run, at least we'll be in a better position to really, continue to grow our business and
and
purchase
yeah, I
a
mean,
home or a car, whatever we want. We'll be
and
able
it's
to
nothing
do.
like having good credit and also
Yeah.
looking good because you be putting me together. I mean, Amira styles me a lot of times. Let me tell you something. She be in my room at a hotel putting me together, steaming my stuff together. I mean, seriously. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate what you do because it's important also to look good while you're doing this. It's nothing like feeling good and having good credit.
Mature in your finances, which is definitely a goal of mine. So I've been getting educated more and more on credit, and it honestly will change your life. You'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel better about your business, and you'll definitely just be on the right track to just progressing. And at the end of the day, perspective is everything. So if you value your business, if you value your name, if you want a great reputation, especially when it comes to finances, getting your credit in order is one of the main things to do. So thank you guys for tuning in to another session of Creative Exchange. I hope it was valuable. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. For
This
those
is my
for
this
those
is
who
my
didn't
second
catch
live. I
it.
had a live yesterday with King Ashley, so this is my second one. I'm gonna try to try to do at least 3 a week.
You're doing very well. You're doing very well.
Thank you so
But thank
much.
you for your time. You're
No
great.
problem.
And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Take care.
Bye. Okay, guys. Kenneth is gone. Oh my God, did I erase my pinned comment? Oh, God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This is it right here. I'm gonna repost it so you guys can pin comment. Pin. Okay, it's there. If you guys need to DM him or anything like that, I just think speaking about credit is so essential for people, especially when you're trying to evolve and become more mature in your finances, which is definitely a goal of mine. So I've been getting educated more and more on credit, and it honestly will change your life. You'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel better about your business, and you'll definitely just, be on the right track to just progressing. And at the end of the day, perspective is everything. So if you value your business, if you value your name, if you want a great reputation, especially when it comes to finances, getting your credit in order is one of the main things to do. So thank you guys for tuning in to another session of Creative Exchange. I hope it was valuable. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.